the storm is in a weakening state, so we're not seeing quite the same level of rotation. It's becoming a little more disembodied, but there's still some degree of rotation in the area here near Covington and pulling to the northeast. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And again, take shelter. If just to play it safe, take shelter. This could spin back up in Covington of Louisiana, in St. Tammany Parish, also extreme southeastern Washington Parish under this tornado threat. But again, this passed within only 16 miles or so, 15 miles of the radar site. We had pretty good eyes on this one. I suspect it did produce a brief tornado over the northwestern part of Lake Pontchartrain, making landfall as a tornado. So a waterspout turned tornado into Madisonville. And I suspect that this is going to become a little more disembodied here in the short term, but it could spin back up. So again, radar looking less impressive at the moment. Take shelter, though, in St. Tammany Parish in case it spins back up. Another cell that we should analyze here is a new one into Aliceville. And this is another tornado warning into Pickens County of Mississippi, Pickens County of Alabama, I should say, Pickens County of Alabama. This one's tightening up pretty quickly here. So this went from not much of a threat to a rapidly escalating threat here in a short period of time. Look at that drone footage of a wide base to a tornado there in Tylertown, Mississippi from Brandon Clement. Significant roof damage to an old established home there. Major trees shredded there. Big problems there in Tylertown, Mississippi earlier. And look at the flooding as well. So that is debarked trees. That's nasty stuff there. This was a high-end tornado that went through Tylertown, Mississippi. My goodness, look at that. All those trees just snapped and shredded. This is the kind of thing that would not just be an EF0, 1, or 2. We're looking at least EF3 damage here, if not greater than that, based on the way that forest was just obliterated. Some of these homes also badly damaged and destroyed. But again, pretty compelling footage there, unfortunately, from Tylertown, Mississippi, from the past few hours from Brandon Clement's video lens there up in a drone. And there you can see some lower end tornado damage where a house is still standing, lost its shingles. But here's high end tornado damage there in Tylertown. Look at how that forest was just shredded. Most trees snapped, not just toppled over, but snapped. Nasty stuff. Well, we're continuing to track all of this through parts of Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And if you're up there in Huntsville or Muscle Shoals, the rain has been your friend. This is helping to restabilize the atmosphere, and the greatest risk of tornadoes is generally going to be in this area south of you. So that aligns pretty well with our AccuWeather extreme risk that we rolled out yesterday. But again, heavy rain, flooding is a concern to the north. There will be still some occasional embedded rain-wrapped risks to the north. But again, the overall worst potential is going to be in areas from Coleman south to the Gulf Coast. Take a look at all these power outages here. Tremendous number of power outages across the nation here. Again, we're over 300,000 addresses without power right now. And the numbers have escalated here as these gusty storms are rolling through. We have high dew point, 70-degree dew point there into New Orleans. That is very moist air, plenty of humidity to fuel these storms, and the severe risk continues into many, many areas here. In fact, I'm going to step off camera, and I think we have an updated graphic, and I want to give the absolute latest here. So I'm going to bring in the most recent version of this, because I want you to see the absolute latest. So there's the previous version, but as the storms evolve, the latest version of this graphic is going to trim the western edge of that a little bit. There it is. There's our updated high and extreme risk. So just a subtle change, but we want you to see the absolute latest. And again, once that wall of rain moves across the Mississippi River and moves further east, we can begin to clear counties off to the west of Jackson, Mississippi, for example. But we have multiple counties here under tornado watches. Our tornado outbreak does continue into Mississippi and Alabama, parts of southeast Louisiana too. And the winds are very strong here. We're dealing with the winds just importing moisture from the Gulf, 47-mile-per-hour gusts there into New Orleans. The flooding risk is a big deal into Kentucky and Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi as well. And this all moves east here through the day tomorrow with more damaging thunderstorm potential, but flooding risks are going to be perhaps the more widespread issue. So tomorrow you can see from southeast Virginia through the Carolinas, we're facing some widespread wind and flood-related issues. Timing-wise for Columbia, South Carolina, wind is our main concern here. That'll continue to push east into Florence and other areas, and then into areas like Richmond, Virginia. We're facing a significant risk of damaging thunderstorms with winds and also some flooding. There we are in the late morning, early afternoon, mid-afternoon, and into the early evening as this all races to the east.